are you? Really, where are you in this journey we call life? Are you living? Are you existing? Or are you just barely surviving? For some of us, it has to do with our past. It has a way of creeping in on us, holding us back, even holding us hostage. And despite our best efforts, we just can't seem to live this thing called the abundant life.
I didn't want to live. I didn't think that I had any purpose. I felt like I was more in the way than I was able to be a purposeful human being in society.
Abundant life, life to the full. Is it even possible? Does it even exist on this side of eternity?
And the sadness and the depression that wouldn't go away, I had no remedy for it.
As an alcoholic, my life was all about feeling differently. And before, when I could take a drink and I felt differently.
I was just completely worn out. I had taken on all sorts of responsibility and didn't want to let anybody down.
Happiness. Isn't that what we're really looking for? Have we bought into the deception that for me to be truly happy, everything in life has to be perfect? No more mistakes, no more failures, no more surprises. Just this magical place where I'm perfect and everything around me is perfect. Is that really what happiness is? How's that working for you?
The way I felt during that time was just completely frustrated. Nothing I was taught to do or tried to do seemed to work.
I was never really sure where I stood with him. If I was really saved or if my behavior didn't measure up, I felt like he was displeased with me.
Just a cycle, just like, if you do something good, you feel good about yourself, then you do something bad, then you fall into depression, then you don't want to do it because you know you're not going to reach the mark. So all of that just together just made it horrible.
Something was just missing. I kept reading the Bible and seeing these, Jesus talk about life and life to the full and peace and joy, and I thought, I'm not getting this. Other people seem like they are. I must be doing something wrong.
Just this turmoil underneath the surface, tears. There was no one I could turn to, though, because being a pastor's wife, you're supposed to have it all together, right?
What if the pursuit of happiness is the very thing that causes me to miss the abundant life?
I didn't want to let people down because it said that I was worth something if I could always meet their expectations and never disappoint them.
I came up believing that conflict was a bad thing, and I never really saw it resolved in a healthy way, correct way. It would just sort of went away and repeated itself.
If he was happy, then I was doing good. And when he wasn't, I wasn't. So if he was up, I was up. If he was down, I was down.
I was a perfectionist. I had made 2 Olympic teams, and now was on the road to being Olympic mom, super wife, and I was failing miserably.
Could we be so busy trying to control the people and things around us that we're simply unable to stop and allow God to give us His abundant life?
It was me trying to make the life work. With my limited resources, it was very hard to live that way.
The biggest fear that I was dealing with through my life, not realizing it until I understood the exchange life, was the fear of abandonment. And fought my entire life not to have that happen, but experienced it many, many times.
What is the exchange life? It's where we stop our attempts to control and simply experience the life of God lived in and through us.
All my efforts and all my tries and all my shoulds got crucified. I am myself was crucified on that cross, and I no longer live. I'm not capable of producing the miraculous. I don't have it within me. But the very one who is capable, he's made himself one with me, and he wants to perform that through me.
And I was able to take off all those names and take off all those almost weights. And I was lifted up above who I am in terms of what I do.
At one point I felt like taking my life was the answer, and then when I was beginning to understand the exchange life, I learned that giving up my life was exactly what he had in mind. It just wasn't the way that I had in mind. It wasn't a physical, but a spiritual exchange at the cross.
The thing that I love the most is that I'm 100% acceptable.
It has really affected my life with my wife. We've been married 37 years, and I have a marriage now that I wouldn't give up for anything in this world.
It's the joy and the peace that I feel all the time. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid.
And I know that it's not all about my behavior anymore. It's about who I am and who He's already made me to be.
I think for myself, I might have described my life before understanding the exchange life as one of trying. Sincerely, trying in honesty with God, wanting to follow Him, but frustrated. Trying to work for God rather than really working from God. There is a life that is available to us, a life that Jesus said is free and light. And I'd want people to give it a chance, to take a look at it and to see, am I living life the way God intended it? Am I free and light in my life? Or is there more?
You don't have to add anything to it. Don't have to add any qualifiers or exceptions, or I'm a beloved Son of God.
And there just seems to be no end to His grace.
He fully accepts me, and He loves me, and I'm His treasured possession, His pearl.
His love is unfailing. It's not going anywhere, and I can really trust Him. Trust Him enough to just lay it all down, and He'll protect me forever.
It's just a true intimacy. It's knowing that I'm completely safe with Him and completely accepted regardless of what I do.
Part of our goal at Grace Ministries is to partner with churches. God's called the church to minister to the body. We want to be an arm, an aid, a training ministry to partner with churches to help them better fulfill their ministries.
So if I cut this in half, what's going to be in the middle? Seeds. Oh, yeah, seeds.
The best way to introduce this into a culture is through the Grace Life Conference.
I only have praises for anyone who wants to come to this program. Just encourage them to be open and apply the truth to their life and trust God to change them, and it'll make them a brand new person.
I just feel very loved, accepted, secure, cared for. I'm not alone. That's what the exchange life has done for me, and that has been life-changing, knowing that Christ is in me.